Joe McGinley put on an arm pump seminar. He's the guy that you've seen talking in between races on Pro Motocross about his cure for arm pump. So now I'm going to take everything I learned from the seminar and explain it quickly and hopefully in a way that's easy to understand. I've also had 3 of my athletes get this injection in the last year, so I'll be explaining their exact experience as well. So first, let's talk about what is arm pump according to Joe. Most of you watching know what arm pump is, but you may not have heard it explained this way before, and it's important because it'll help you understand how the injection actually works. Arm pump is when the forearm muscles get so much blood flow from working too hard that they swell in size. And when they swell in size, they're actually pinching veins, which are little pathways that's responsible for letting the blood back out. This causes the fluid from your blood to get backed up, and it makes your forearm swell up even more. This leads to the numbness and tingling and just overall sketchiness that comes with arm pump. Now, what exactly is this cure that Joe advertises? The cure for arm pump is a Botox injection. Botox is usually used to help people look younger. It does this by temporarily paralyzing the muscles in your face that cause wrinkles. For instance, when you smile, there are small muscles in your face that pull the skin on your forehead up like this. See it? Now, after the injection, those small muscles are paralyzed, so you can still smile, but the small muscles just don't pull the skin up on your forehead, so it looks like this. Don't I look pretty? So how does this actually work for arm pump? So when an athlete rolls up to the McGinley Clinic in Wyoming, they have a protocol they go through that is meant to pump up their forearms to mimic arm pump. Once the forearms are really pumped up, they take an MRI, which is like taking a picture of the muscles to see which muscle is pumped up the worst and is pinching those veins that's supposed to let the blood back out of the forearm. And once they've located the culprit, the muscle that's blowing up the biggest and cutting off all the blood flow, they inject it with Botox. This temporarily paralyzes the muscle, which means that it can't activate to pump up. If it can't pump up, no arm pump. Now here's the kicker. Botox is temporary. It traditionally will wear off in about 6 months. So how does this become a permanent arm pump solution? While the muscle is paralyzed, it gets smaller. And since you no longer can use the main muscle you were using to hang onto the handlebars, the other muscles of the forearm have to get stronger and compensate for the lack of strength. They have to compensate for that muscle being paralyzed. This teaches your forearms a new muscle memory for how to hang on, because they literally have to learn how to maintain your grip strength without using that muscle that was pumping up super bad. Then, when the Botox wears off, you could use that muscle, but your body has reprogrammed your forearm to operate without it. So even though it's not paralyzed anymore, you just simply don't use it because you have new muscle memory. Your body has learned how to hang on without using that muscle. Thus, it becomes permanent. So, does it work? Yes, for around 87% of people. That success rate is listed on their website and their brochure. Now, for some people, it could take up to 3 separate injections to have the arm pump go away fully. This is important to note because the injections are rather expensive, up to $5,000 per injection, and the clinic is in Wyoming. So if you happen to live in Wyoming, which I don't know anybody that lives in Wyoming, I'm not convinced that there's real people there. Just kidding. People that live in Wyoming. The clinic is in Wyoming, so either you have to fly for some or you have to drive for some. Either way, you are spending time and you're spending money, so you have to factor in those costs as well as the $5,000 per injection. Now, for Jordan Smith, it only took 1 injection and his arm pump was completely gone, but it doesn't always work out so smoothly for everyone. The idea is sound and the science checks out, but there are a few downsides that you should know about if you're trying to decide if the injection is for you. The downsides. There is severe weakness that peaks around 3 weeks after you've had the injection and could last for anywhere between 5 and 7 weeks. The severity of the weakness depends on the type of toxin that you get injected. They're all Botox, but some are quick hitting, like high strength, so it'll get rid of the arm pump immediately, but it also has severe weakness that comes with it. You can also do a lower dose so that it may not completely get rid of arm pump, but it means you won't have the crazy weakness. You can keep training. This is important because A, it'll affect the price, and B, if you're, I know there are several pros that are trying to get it during the season because they're so sick of arm pump and sick of riding around in 20th place because they get pumped up after 3 laps. Those people are opting for the lower dose so that they can keep training, keep racing, whereas if they did the quick hit, they would likely be out for 5 to 6 weeks, not only because whether or not they're getting arm pump, now their forearms are so weak that they can't ride anyways. Now, after around the 5-week mark, your strength should come back to about where it was before. But if you underestimate the weakness, it could cause you problems like it did for 2 of my athletes that got the injection. Let me tell you about them really quick. So I had 2 athletes get the injection within a couple days of each other about 6 weeks before Loretta's. So they got the injection, and not only did it severely hurt their training the 6 weeks before Loretta's, their strength actually didn't come back in time to even go to the race. So they both ended up missing Loretta's. Now you're probably wondering, why take the risk? Why get the injection? You have to understand that when you go to a track that's known for causing arm pump, and you know in the past, no matter how in shape you are, no matter how many motos you have under your belt, you show up and you're feeling good, and then arm pump just totally ruins your week. So for them, arm pump always ruins their time at Loretta's. They decided either A, we go to Loretta's, know that I'm going to get arm pump and get bad results, or we can take a chance, get this injection, and hope that the arm pump is gone by the time Loretta's shows up. Obviously, it was a bit of a gamble, and like gambling, it doesn't always work out for you. So, lesson learned. Don't underestimate the weakness. It is there. It is real. The doctors should explain this to you. If you go get the injection, they have a chart that details exactly how long you can expect the weakness to last. Another downside is it is really expensive. As I said earlier, depending on the toxin you get, it could be up to $5,000 per injection. And if you're one of the unlucky ones that ends up needing 3 injections, this could end up costing you a whopping $15,000 to get rid of your arm pump. What does this mean for you? It means that it's probably not a solution for the weekend warriors, the vet class guys, the people that just ride on the weekends for fun. Maybe they don't race, but they just are considering getting it. I don't know. I don't know you. So if you're not a professional rider or a top amateur, that's okay. It just may mean the injection's not right for you. If that's the case, I'm going to list out a bunch of things that you can do that's going to help you manage your arm pump and maybe even make it go away altogether. So if you don't want to get the injection, what else can you do to help with your arm pump? Number 1, get more seat time. Riding more is almost always the solution to most people's arm pump problems. Number 2, breathe more when you ride. You think you're breathing, you're not. When you hold your breath, it creates tension in your body, including your forearms. All right, this will absolutely lead to arm pump. Improve your technique. I'm telling you, little things like squeezing the bike more with your knees and leaning forward under hard acceleration, and maybe even over gripping so that the bars are going into the palm of your hand instead of strictly the fingers. It's going to alleviate so much arm pump for you. If you're riding off the back and just hanging on, if your fingers are the only thing keeping your butt on that seat, you are going to get arm pump. Look at Eli Tomac in the Supercross season. There was one round where he just straight up got his butt kicked. He rode around, got 10th. He told everybody he got arm pump, and he said that the culprit was they got his suspension wrong. His rear of the bike was sitting just a little bit too low, which made it feel a little more like a chopper, which made him feel like he's falling off the back of the bike and really relying on his grip to hang on. Now that's Eli Tomac. If Eli Tomac, he's like one of the GOATs. If he can't ride around hanging off the back of the bike without getting arm pump, you probably can't either. Make sure you're drinking a ton of water and a ton of electrolytes. Staying hydrated, make sure that your blood flows smoothly through your body like water instead of more like a sludge and slow. If it's sludgy and slow, it's more likely to get trapped in your forearms. And my last tip is get your suspension dialed in. It goes without saying that a bike that is violent and unpredictable is impossible to ride efficiently, and you're going to be death gripping the bike and hanging on for dear life just because you're so uncomfortable. So, the Botox injection does work. The downside is that it is really expensive, up to $5,000 per injection. It causes a lot of weakness in the forearms, so you just have to plan for that, and it may not be for everyone. If you're not a professional or a top amateur, it may not be for you. If it's not for you, that's okay. There are so many other things you can do to help your arm pump. All the things that we just talked about. Now, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to learn more about how to train for motocross or how to train smarter for motocross, check out this video next.